Brian Wilson sold it 6 months after that for $6.7 million. And he doubled his money. He bought a house in North Bay, a pretty nice one. Now he's mortgage free, I'm assuming. Yeah, that's it. I need some real estate pointers from the Beach Boys. He did well. And this is still Hamilton Estates. This is the same neighborhood. Just these guys on this side, they get Blue Jay Bay, but this is the same area, same zone. It's still Hamilton Estates. They do a home tour every September. They open up a bunch of these houses on the home tour. If you want to go on like the Arrowhead home tour, it's always the last weekend of September every year. And they open up like 18 to 2 dozen lake homes. They take you by pontoon boat from the village. It's like $70 for a ticket. Anybody can go. It's all for charity. You just Google search like Arrowhead home tour. And they drop you off on the boat docks of all the home tour properties. You can spend like 10 minutes each house trying to look at all of them, which is hard to do. Or spend an hour at each house and just look at a handful of them. Yeah, the last time I did it was 5 years ago, and at the end of the day, I felt extremely poor. It's not really good for your ego. You need to see them. Yeah, I've never felt so broke in my life. This house with these striped umbrellas was the last home I went in on the home tour. Like right when they finished it 5 years ago, it was amazing. They had this big underground, huge underground movie theater. They have the biggest wine cellar I've ever seen. Yeah, those storm doors in the middle, those are like, there's garage doors that come down. They roll up the garage doors and all the glass disappears. It's like an indoor-outdoor. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, that's their weekend cabin. Yeah, they have a house in Newport. They have this home, and they have a house in Maine. Like they have many. Yeah, they're pretty. Their families. They're doing okay. Looks like they're having like a wedding or some kind of event. This guy with his USC flag, he hates the UCLA Conference Center, so he puts that out every day with a passion. And the home next door to him, these big Scottish castle chimneys, that's Kelly Johnson's home. He's a former astronaut. You'll see the observatory up on the back of the roof line. He knows what he's looking for up there in the solar system. Yeah, all that stone is real Scottish stone. They brought it over from Scotland. I had a guy on the boat a year ago. He told me to get the exact same stone in Fontana. So check Fontana before you ship it from Scotland. He was pretty sure of it too. He's pretty confident. And then Meadow Bay goes way back in. There's 185 boat docks back here, so it goes way back to the big house you see in the back end. These are the most affordable docks in the lake. Like if you're ever lucky enough to have like a cabin or a home up here, this is you can buy a dock back here for about 120, 140,000. Yeah, the big tan house on the right with the dark brown trim, that's a 12,000 square foot, 4-story lake home. Yeah, just the husband and wife was there, just 2 people and their 2 little dogs. They've lived there for the past 25 years. Yeah, they bought this nice boat for their grandkids and kids to come use. But the husband, I always see him like in the village, he goes to all the concerts. He told me the house saved their marriage. He told me they stayed all these years because it saved their marriage. I'm like, it saved your marriage? He's like, yeah, it saved our marriage. Finally I asked him like a couple months later, like, how's that possible? How could that save your marriage? He said, me and my wife are still looking for each other every day. They can't find each other. I'm like, oh, that makes perfect sense, yeah. He told me that they tie notes to their little chihuahua and they send them down the elevator looking for each other. He was dead serious, still like, oh my gosh. And then the lot next door, that's your last lot. They want $980,000 for 60 feet of lakefront. It's like a little triangle. For $1 million you can buy that and build your dream house. Yeah, that is just the dirt. Yeah, they want $1 million for just the dirt. That's the last lot left on the whole lake right there that has not been built on. So maybe you can like crane in your motorhome or something. You'll have the fanciest the fanciest motorhome on Lake Arrowhead. This is Rainbow Point Estates. Like you can tell by the boat docks, this is private gated. There's only one dock in front of each house through here. It's the smallest private gated area on the lake. Normally you can go fast through this area, but on these big holiday weekends, they like buoy it off and make it like an area where you can come drop anchor. But every other day of the year, you can come back here and like wakeboard or water ski. These houses at the back of Blue Jay Bay, those are the biggest houses in the whole lake. The gray one's Jay Leno's old lake home. That's an 18,000 square foot lake house. Yeah, that place has 18 bedrooms. There's 24 and a half bathrooms. It has an 8,200 square foot, 24-car parking garage on that lower level. The whole bottom level is a big parking garage. Yeah, he ended up building a bigger house on Lake Tahoe, like a 23,000 square foot Tahoe home, and he sold this to the chairman of KB Homes, and that's who owns it now. But yeah, that's the biggest home on the lake. And the tan one next door on the point is the second biggest property on the whole lake. That's the tan one on Totem Pole Point's the Longs family home. Those guys used to own a chain of drugstores called Longs. They sold their drugstore chain to CVS back in the 80s. But back in the 1980s, there were like well over 100 locations of drugstores called Longs that are all now known as CVS. Yeah, the only place you're going to find Longs, you get out to Hawaii. You get out to like Maui or Oahu. That's the last place Longs exist. The Longs family's from Hawaii. CVS bought the drugstore chain. They made everything on the mainland CVS, but they left the drugstores on the Hawaiian Islands. They left the Longs in honor of the Longs family. But yeah, they have Totem Pole Point. That's like they have water on both sides. It's pretty neat. Their caretaker, the lady who lives there, she's like a manager at Bank of America in the Arrowhead Village. They've been paying her for 14 years to live there and just keep an eye on the home. She's their caretaker. She does the best job of anybody I know. I was telling her when she's ready to give it up, I'll take over. Because the Longs family, they live in Maui. They're out here 6 weeks a year. And the rest of the year, it's just her and her husband. And then this is one island. We have like one island on the lake called Lone Pine Island. The island's a recreational area. Nobody can buy it or build on it. The island's classified as part of the lake, so you can get off your boat here and hang out. You can swim and fish. Yeah, if you could buy it, there'd be a big castle out there by now. It's a nice spot though to get off your boat and just hang out. A lot of people, there's a big sandbar on the backside, so if you have young kids, it's like a great place to go. This is the second beach club up here to the right. This is Burntmill Beach Club, so it's the second of the two beach clubs. It's the same concept as the other one, just an area to hang out, swim and fish. You can park your car right outside the beach area. It's pretty convenient. There's a really cool brewery too. If you ever go to the Lake Arrowhead Brew Company at the back of the parking lot, that's like a really great place to grab a beer, a glass of wine. They have a neat outdoor seating area. That's where they turn lake water into beer, so it's like a magical place. Hey, if any of the kids want to drive, if you want to drive for a minute, you can come do some lake donuts for the Winchell family. Come drive us back if you want. Be on season 19 of The Deadliest Sketch. Get your training in right now. If they want to, they're welcome to. They can come cruise up the lake. These gray condos are privately owned condos. Behind the gray condos is the Lake Arrowhead Resort. So that's the one hotel that sits lakefront. It used to be a Hilton. The Hilton family built it. Conrad Hilton built it like the Hilton Hotel Enterprise. He sold it to the Marriott Group. It was a Marriott for 25 years. The Marriott just sold it a year ago to the Soho House. So the Soho House just bought this hotel, and they're going to kind of revamp it and make it like a full resort. They're going to put in these big water slides, and it's going to be probably pretty neat when they're done. They're supposed to start construction at the end of summer. But they have a nice restaurant, and they have like the big beach area. There's lots of weddings and events out here all summer. They have a fishing dock. They call it Vernon Pontoon Boats as their fishing dock. If you catch a fish off the dock, you can take it up to the restaurant. They'll clean it and cook it for you. They'll serve it to you at the dinner table. The lake trout tastes really good. You can keep 5 trout per day per person. The speed limit's 35 miles an hour, but nobody cares. It goes fast as